Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the Intercollegiate Rowing Association National Championships here at Lake Natoma in beautiful Gold River, California.
Another exciting race we expect to have here. We will have California in lane 1, Harvard, the Eastern Sprint champions, in lane 2, Pennsylvania in lane 3, Stanford in lane 4, Boston University in lane 5, and Brown in lane 6. And interestingly enough, Stanford posting the second fastest time of the racing yesterday, as they finished second in their heat behind Princeton.
Well, and this is another one in the middle of the race course. I think this matchup between Pennsylvania and Stanford is really, really intriguing. I think we're probably anticipating that that third place position is going to go to one of these two crews if we follow the script and how things look on paper. Of course, looking to California and Harvard to be setting the pace over in lanes 1 and 2, but should be all on between Pennsylvania and Stanford.
And Harvard won the Eastern Sprints, and they've been knocking on the door for this IRA regatta for a number of years now, getting silver medal last year. But can they beat the mighty West? No crew from the East Coast has won the IRA title since Yale won in 2019. So can an East Coast school challenge this year? And it looks like these top two crews from California and Harvard looking to break away and try and open up on the rest of the field to avoid that closing pack in the sprint sequence who are going to be vying for that third place qualifying spot.
The pressure is building as the Penn Quakers are charging to the line.
It looks like Stanford are holding on. 2-seat advantage still.
All right, coming down to it, California responding to the pressure and making up for a disaster in 2025, victorious in the semifinal over Harvard. And right down to it, Stanford have gotten their Varsity 8 into the grand final in 2026, edging out Penn and Brown. And here comes Boston University, despite a very quick start from the Terrier.
And now we head back up to the start for the second semifinal of this JV event, with Princeton in lane 1, Harvard in lane 2, Dartmouth lane 3, Syracuse lane 4, Pennsylvania in lane 5, and Stanford in lane 6. And Princeton were our Eastern Sprints winners in this race, so they will see if they can hold that momentum as they push forwards into their IRA.
But who do they have right next to them, Sholto? They have their silver medalists from Eastern Sprints right next door, so no better competitor, I think, to have challenging you in your semifinal to prime you for the final in this men's 2V than Harvard.
I know. Let's play it back again, and they'll race today and tomorrow. Well, maybe. Depends who qualifies.
Yes, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still need to race the race. But I think, you know, of course, on paper, as Dave would love us to note, we do make our two crews, Princeton and Harvard, over in those left side lanes, favorites for qualification, heavy favorites to qualify. Oh gosh, what's going on here?
Looks like the race has stopped.
We have stopped the race. You're so right. That's very interesting. Are we missing a crew? All right, high drama in this second semifinal of the men's second Varsity 8. We have, the race has been stopped. We are waiting in the media gazebo to see if we can get any word from our official team why that might be. All right, for those of you still on the edge of your seat regarding our second semifinal of the men's second Varsity 8, we do have an update from out on the water. The update is that the competitive integrity of the race was compromised due to interference based on the referee's judgment. So the race will be rerun. We're being told it's our next race, in fact. What great timing. So here we are. We're going to look at our men's second Varsity 8 semifinal AB once again. Back on the screen, back on the track, getting loaded up at the starting docks now. It's not something that the crews would have talked about in their pre-race meetings, I don't think at all, with their coaches as a potential outcome today. So this is where these senior athletes in the crews are going to really, really be sort of, I think, critical playmakers when it comes to executing this second round of this semifinal.
And if you were in these crews, you would have just kept paddling, clearing the lactate out a little bit, keeping those pre-race nerves to a minimum, and just ready to dial in again. And look at this drone shot. We've got perfect aerial footage of these crews ready to take those opening strokes, long, strong, trying to get to length as quickly as possible in this start sequence.
Currently your race leaders, but only just over the crew from Princeton, with Harvard also sniffing at that third place position at the moment.
And sitting in fourth place is this crew from Pennsylvania.
All right, it does look like Princeton is starting to come alive over on the top of your picture. They've shifted that momentum and just started to take command of the race, getting their bob out in front. Harvard going right along with them, seeing if they can challenge our race leaders from Syracuse. That's your 1, 2, 3 at the moment. The race sort of separating into two separate fields, it looks like, between our race leaders, Princeton, Harvard, and Syracuse, and then Dartmouth, Pennsylvania, and Stanford duking it out for 4, 5, and 6. Here we're riding with our two race leading crews from Harvard and Princeton. Harvard looked to have maybe just started to build their attack in this last 500 meters, closing the gap between themselves and Princeton at this very late stage. Has the momentum shifted to the Crimson as we're inside the red buoys now? Just a few strokes of rowing left to determine the outcome of this dramatic semifinal for these men's second varsity eights. Harvard just starting to get the advantage over Princeton.
I think Princeton holding on by just a seat, and Syracuse in that third place qualifying spot have really kicked into gear and are pushing away from Penn.
Ooh, I think it might go the way of Harvard. We'll see right at the end. Oh, Princeton moved through. All right, so if you're just joining us, apologize for any delays that you're noticing, and if you're tuning in to catch any of our third varsity 8 racing, or maybe some of our men's varsity 8s that are due to start shortly. We had a little bit of a race delay due to a race needing to be recalled and restarted due to interference. So we're now just getting our second semifinal of the men's third varsity 8 underway.
Washington leading out, and then it is Harvard in second place, with Yale coming in third at this stage. It's neck and neck. Washington continue to lead, but it's important. It's important to qualify first, because then you have the confidence, you have the momentum, and you have the belief going into tomorrow's A final.
All right, so is this just the Harvard counterattack starting to come? They're understroking Washington by a beat or two over in that Harvard crew, so managing their nerves, managing the pressure, and just seeing if they can't incrementally start to work back into that deck lead that Washington threw at them in the middle of the race course. Here they come now. Last few strokes for these two crews.
And it looks like Harvard are leading Washington in second place. But the third place race is really happening. It's Yale holding that late charge against Northeastern and Pennsylvania. And Yale qualifying in that third spot to book their ticket into that A final.
Our next final with medals on the line is in the men's heavyweight varsity 4. We have California in lane 1, Washington in lane 2, Pennsylvania in lane 3, Princeton in lane 4. Marist is a scratch, I'm told, in lane 5. So we will have Harvard moved over into lane 5 for the A-level final in the men's 4.
And they're getting locked in, ready to go. Medals up for grabs. And they're underway of this grand final of the Varsity 4's event. It was Cal who qualified fastest in the time trial, but Pennsylvania in lane 3 who had the fastest semi. So we will see these crews duke it out for those podium spots.
And it's a pretty tight race still. Cal has better part of 3/4 of a length of a lead, but the rest of them are within a deck of one another.
As they've gone through that first K, it looks like Cal, who have kicked on, they have boosted it into gear, and they are trying to stride out and break that umbilical cord between them and Washington.
Not out of the conversation either. Look at this crew from Harvard bringing along this crew from Princeton, looking to move themselves back up through the Washington Huskies.
All 5 crews in medal contention. What a great race we have on our hands here.
This crew from Harvard down on the bottom of your picture. Here we are zooming in right into this Crimson crew now, who are on the move, charging hard from lane number 5 to go right along with Pennsylvania and overhaul the Washington Huskies for a spot on the podium. Harvard are indeed currently sitting in that bronze medal position. The Huskies looking possibly to miss out on a podium in this Varsity 4, Sholto. All right, big move from Harvard now. They have gotten themselves significantly ahead of the University of Washington. Pennsylvania continuing to stride on and close the gap between themselves and California. All on for that bronze medal. It's going to be a critical moment now for both of these crews. Harvard versus Washington for bronze. The gold medal is gone. The Bears looking good as IRA champions in this men's Varsity 4 in 2026. Right through those red buoys, right past the tents. Here they come, your champions in the men's Varsity 4. California looking good. Last few strokes for them. It's gold for the Golden Bears, but all on for silver and bronze. Here comes Pennsylvania, sensational for silver, and Harvard snatched the bronze ahead of the University of Washington just off the podium, and Princeton bringing it up in 5th.
And coming in to accept their bronze medals at the beach, we have Harvard University. Says here they're from Boston, Mass., but we all know they're actually from Cambridge, Mass. Coxon, Nicholas Yu. Oh, we're going to go bow to stern. That's fine. Lace Susu is in bow. 2-man Ryan Cornelius. 3, Marcus Chung. And stroke, Adam Check. Bronze medal, men's 4 2026 IRA Championship.